everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's Tara here. Today's episode is a little different. Recently, I was contacted by a representative from Dehancer, a film emulation plugin that I've been testing for about a month now. They invited me to try their software and share my honest review. This isn't a paid or sponsored post, but rather a collaboration. They gave me access to the full plugin, and in return, I get to explore it, use it in my workflow, and share my honest feedback with you. If you're new here, just so you know, I'm not a professional photographer, videographer, or someone who color grades professionally, or a professional editor. I'm just someone who enjoys making videos as a hobby, capturing our life after moving to Australia through simple, story-driven vlogs like this one. I film everyday moments like family days out, nature walks, city visits, and edit them into little videos that feel more like mini movies like this. I have a passion for capturing everyday moments and transforming them into short films that feel like miniature cinematic stories. It's just a hobby, but one I really enjoy, and adding color, mood, and style through grading is part of the journey. On this particular day, I spent a beautiful afternoon by Sydney Harbour with my daughter, capturing simple, joyful moments. To bring these memories to life, I used Dehancer Pro for color grading. So this entire video was graded using Dehancer Pro. Dehancer is a film emulation plugin that brings the warmth and texture of analog film to digital footage. It offers over 60 film profiles, including classics like Kodak, Agfa, Konica, Fuji, and include tools like halation, bloom, grain to add depth and character. So whether you're a hobbyist or a professional, Dehancer Pro provides a powerful yet accessible way to enhance your videos with a cinematic touch. So now, let me walk you through my full Dehancer Pro workflow inside Final Cut Pro using footage shot on my iPhone 15 Pro Max and ProRes log in 4K at 24 to 30 FPS. This is the ProRes log before grading, and this is the one graded with Dehancer. Now, I'll show you my workflow and how I integrate Dehancer to Final Cut Pro. First, I installed Dehancer Pro, and once installed, Dehancer appears in Final Cut Pro under Effects. Choose Film Emulation, and then you will see Dehancer Pro. In my case, this is Dehancer Pro version 7. I simply drag and drop the effect onto the clip I want to grade. Since I shot this video in ProRes log, I go into the input section and choose Apple Gamma 2.0. This ensures that Dehancer correctly interprets the color and contrast from the iPhone footage. I only check the difference enable just in case I might manipulate that later. I went ahead and chose a film profile for the next step. Under the film profile drop-down, I selected Kodak Vision 3500T and set it to 2.0. It's one of my favorite looks. Soft, warm, nostalgic, perfect for emotional everyday storytelling. For the exposure, I set it to negative 0.42, temperature composition to 40, tint composition to 22, different 52, choosing Kodak Vision 3500 on Dehancer, shooting with an iPhone 15 Pro Max on a ProRes log in 4K with a late afternoon setting just like what you've seen in the video, and yield a cinematic, warm, nostalgic look since it's the golden hour. But here are a few considerations I made to make the most of it. So yeah, the video format is in ProRes log, resolution 4K, frame rate 24 FPS to 30, exposure. I did underexpose it slightly to protect the highlights because Vision 3500T has soft highlight roll-off. Under Film Developer, I did 50 for the contrast boost, 29 for the gamma correction, 100 for the color separation. I did not touch it and moved to 100 for the color boost. I also continued manipulating it through film compression, but I decided to disable it since it tends to shift color slightly in bright areas. So I disabled it. And under Expand, I slide the black point to 30, white point to 90. Color mode remains normal. For the print profile, I chose linear, so you can choose between linear, Cineon film log, Fujifilm 3513 print film, Kodak 23A3 print film, and Kodak interior glossy papers. So it just depends on you and how you want your print outcome if you decide to print your photos. So I just chose linear, then adjusted the exposure to 1.0, tonal contrast to 17.0, color density to 57, and saturation to 100 max. For film grain, and from the name itself, gives that grainy look. You can go as high as 65 mm, ISO 500. I chose the lowest, which is 8mm ISO 50, which gives that subtle grain on the film. See how it changes depending on the level of grain that you apply on the film. And also customize and see what's in there when you click custom. Size 40, amount 25, film resolution 52, shadows 30, midtones 50, highlights. So if you want to manipulate that, you have the option to. There's also a choice of film type and mode. So I chose 8mm. You can also choose not to put grain. So it just depends on how you like it to appear. So if you don't want the grain, just disable it. Next is halation. Now, what is halation? I'll give you an example of a video that I took. This one is taken outside Luna Park. I took the ferry, get off at Milson's Point station, and took this video. So halation is that red-orange glow around bright light just like this. So you can increase that or lower the halation effect on the lights. Depends on you. It keeps your skin tones warm and make the footage look dreamy and magical. Next is bloom. So I set the bloom to 65 mm or 70 mm. So let's go back to the day scene by the Sydney Opera House. Bloom is the visual effect that mimics the soft glowing halos you might see around the highlights. It simulates the light diffusion around bright areas of the image that adds soft glow, giving the image the cinematic and dreamy feel, so it can enhance nostalgic, filmic, or vintage aesthetic. So you can see the bloom in the water and here and here. Yeah. Then next is film damage. I set it at 65 mm or 70 mm. It simulates the physical wear and tear of old film based from the word damage. So physically it appears like dust, scratches, hair, the stains, chemical damage on the image like this. So you can manipulate the slider and choose whether you want more film damage in your film or nothing at all or minimal. So you can open custom and then you can choose the number of dust, hairs, scratches, but I don't feel the need to touch other things, so I'll set it back to 8mm. So yeah, I don't really feel the need to use it, so I'm not touching it so much. Next is film breath. Film breath simulate variations in exposure and color frame by frame. It refers to tiny exposure fluctuations like this and subtle pulsing in brightness and contrast. So you cannot see it so much, but it's there. Just manipulate the slider. I honestly don't notice so much of the changes as I move the slider. It's there, but it's subtle. So here's the video. I'll just choose the 65mm. Next is gateway, which simulates the physical jitter, that wobbly or shaking of the film. So it mimics the effect of old film cameras or projectors if you're familiar. Now in this video, I like the look and color of old film, but I don't feel the need of that wobbly effect. So because I'm not showing an old videos setting and I like my video steady, so I'll use this feature only if needed. So I'll disable it and I'll also skip over scan. For the vignette, I'll set it only to exposure 0.18. So you can see how it changes when you adjust it. So it depends how much vignette you want to apply on the film. And I only need some minimal application on the vignette. So it only depends on how you want your film to appear with vignette. Vignette helps with focusing attention on the image being shown at the center of the video. So once I have the look I love, I choose Save Effects Preset, and then you can name it, and then you can save it to reuse the look in future videos with one click. Alright, before I wrap things up, I just want to share a few honest thoughts on the pros and cons of Dehancer Pro now that I've been using it for a while. As for the pros, first, it can really achieve beautiful film looks. Dehancer really shines when you want that timeless, organic, cinematic feel without diving deep into complicated grading tools. Another one is that it is user-friendly. It has a user-friendly interface that even as a non-professional, I found it really intuitive. You can see your changes instantly and everything's built to feel visual and artistic rather than technical. As for the film emulation, the film stocks and textures really look and feel authentic. You're not just slapping on a lot, but you're building a look that responds like actual film. Most importantly, it has powerful tools like the halation, bloom, film grain, and gate weave features that really bring digital footages to life. And lastly, it works inside Final Cut Pro, and that's a huge bonus for me now that I decided to use it. There's no need for me to leave my editing environment or export clips for color work. And aside from Final Cut Pro, it also works with DaVinci Resolve, Adobe After Effects, Premiere, Photoshop, and Lightroom. Now, for the cons, first, it can be demanding on your system, especially when working with high-resolution ProRes footages like the ones I used. The render times can increase with all the film effects enabled. Another one is that while it works fine with iPhone footages, the list of camera profiles is still growing, so it's something to be aware of depending on your gear. And the last thing is that it's not for free. Dehancer is a premium plugin, and while it's powerful, the cost might feel a bit much for someone just getting started on content creating, editing, or coloring. But the good thing is that Dehancer offers different plans depending on what you need. So you can subscribe monthly if you're exploring or working on a short-term project, so you can try and check if it works for you. There are also individual components available, like if you only want halation, bloom, or film grain, you can buy those separately at a lower cost. Or you can go all in with the lifetime license, which includes the full suite and all future updates, which is a great value if you know you'll be using it often like I plan to. So for more details, you can check www.dehancer.com for the different plans available for you. For hobbyists like me or even a part-time content creators, the investment can definitely be worth it, especially if you want to bring more emotion and style into your videos without needing a full cinema setup or hours of color work. And if you decide to give Dehancer a try, I'm happy to share that they were generous enough to give me an affiliate code GOTARA that you can use at checkout for 10% off your purchase. It doesn't cost anything extra. It helps support this channel in a small but meaningful way so I can keep creating and sharing more content with you. Thank you so much for being with me today and following along on this little creative journey. Whether you're just starting out with color grading or looking for new tools to shape your storytelling, I truly hope this video helped in some way. Again, you can use the code GOTARA for 10% off upon checkout. Until next time, and enjoy your color grading journey. I'll see you in the next episode. Now let's continue to the video.